racing now in the Tarzino. Avantage wasn't brilliantly away, recovers though, going back as well as Van Cougar and Guilada and Loire go back. Meanwhile, up the top here, Tavimac began quickly, taken on by Deerfield, Call Sign Mav, ridden up to get there. Bavella next over on the inside, the Mitigator whipping around them, then Shadows Cast. Then Jennifer Eccles inside of Mr. Universe, back behind those Avantage. The Southerner Kiwiita 3/4 or a length away. Then we have Supera, the inside of Germanicus. Further away is Van Cougar as they run to the end of the back of the track from Pin Me Down. Guilada and Loire is last and 20 off them as they run across the top. 700 metres to go, and it's Deerfield. Deerfield in front here now from the Mitigator, who is second. Call Sign Mav is third, and Tavimac is fourth on the outside with cover. Bavella looking to get off the fence here. Over on the outside of that then as they near the corner is going to be Shadows Cast. Now here's Avantage and Kiwiita, both to the outside. Into the stretch they come, and here Deerfield over on the inside. The outside, the Mitigator, Tavimac comes after them. Avantage comes after them. Kiwiita and Call Sign Mav getting through. Closer to the inside, hits the front here. Call Sign Mav, Avantage, Tavimac, and Kiwiita over on the outside. Call Sign Mav, look at Superior fly. Call Sign Mav to the line, gets the prize, a blowout. Local victory though. Call Sign Mav from either Superior and Avantage. Bookie shout here. It has done the job. Number 7, Call Sign Mav, $82.60 and 14.20.81 the book. I mean, this is a fantastic effort from this local horse.
Bouts well. Got the nice trail. The split opened and I couldn't believe how good he was going. He is strong to the line. Full credit to John and his team, and it's nice to be back with them.
They're all in, racing now. Just a little bit slow here. Van Cougar's going to go back, as to Pin Me Down and Pre-Defer as well. Jennifer Eccles sprung away quickly. Here's the Mitigator and Call Sign Mav and Shadows Cast going forward. Jennifer Eccles settles down fourth. Loire is the fifth one. And then over on the outside, the next one is Melody Bell. Avantage a length back over on the inside. A length the next is Germanicus. Going through on the inside, two Illicit Superiors looking to drop back for cover behind those runners. They are followed around then by the next one, Sultan of Swing, as they go by the 1,000 metres. Then Pre-Defer, Pin Me Down and Van Cougar as the Mitigator getting right on with it here. Opened them up by 8 lengths. Call Sign Mav second. There's 3 or 4 further away. Shadows Cast, Jennifer Eccles. Then we have Melody Bell. She's the next one as they run across the top of the track. Back behind that then Avantage tracking her. Loire the inside. Germanicus, 2 Illicit. They are pinging. Sultan of Swing, Superior, Pre-Defer takes off. Pin Me Down and Van Cougar, the Mitigator, coming back to them here. From Call Sign Mav, who goes after it. Shadows Cast, Jennifer Eccles the inside. Melody Bell and Avantage starting to get to the outside now. Call Sign Mav goes to the Mitigator. On the outside, Melody Bell comes after them, and Avantage is starting to charge as well. Call Sign Mav on the outside, Avantage. Melody Bell in the middle is starting to fight back. 3 of them, Avantage, Melody Bell. She wants it more, they hit it, oh yes! Melody Bell from Avantage, Call Sign Mav, 2 Illicit Flow, Pre-Defer, Superior behind them, Sultan of Swing.
Lovely ride from Troy, had her in the right spot, and I just got a feeling on Thursday morning that she was back to somewhere where she needed to be. Troy came in and said that gives me a bit of confidence, so she's a wonderful mare, and a true credit to everybody that's looked after her all the way through, right from when Dave bought her to the team that have done such a wonderful job. The team in Sydney sent her back in great order, and Nicole Shaler and Sam Burgesson and their team at the Middleburn have done a wonderful job. I honestly don't believe that she was going that bad in Sydney. She's just running into proper horses and not a lot of luck. So here she is back in New Zealand and loves it.
Racing in the Livermore, beyond the Fort Tower, was easy out of the gates, going back as well. Here is Dolcetto and Shadows Cast. Now near the inside, beginning quickly, Avantage, Prix de Feu goes forward, Living on a Prayer, Two Illicit and Bowden all press on, Polsey, Tiptronic behind these, Van Cougar on the inside as they run out of the home stretch here. The next one is going to be Vadavar, is followed then by Melody Bellet's outside, she's beyond midfield, Ocean Billy Whitey going forward, and then Sultan of Swing, who's around Old Chetto, beyond the forward, and Shadows Cast is the last of them. To the back of the track by the 1400 metres in the Livermore, and Living on a Prayer gets on with the job here. Prix de Feu 2 lengths away second, Avantage straight into the trading position. Polsey next over on the outside as they buttoned it off here. Two Illicits the next, and Tiptronic gets on the move. Bowden behind those, Ocean Billy in the middle, and then Glory Days, a length Van Cougar, Vadavar. Melody Bell a length back behind those, and off the rail, Old Chetto the inside. Sultan of Swing around beyond the ford after the 1,000 metres, and Shadows Cast is the last one. More pace here as they run to the end of the back of the track. Living on a Prayer, Prix de Feu is a half length away. Polsey wider. Ocean Billy's around them at the 800. Avantage behind them. Bowden goes underneath of her, and then Tiptronic, Van Cougar. Then we have Two Illicit. Vadavar back on the inside with those runners. Glory Days as well. Now Melody Bell, she looks to improve by the 600 metres. Dolcetto behind that as they run down the side. Vadavar in front of it. Sultan of Swing, Shadows Cast, and beyond the fort. The field for the Livermore run up towards the home corner here. And it is Ocean Billy. Avantage after it. Prix de Feu over on the outside. Wider out then Tiptronic. Now she's brought right to the outside. Melody Bell. And she is starting to charge right to the middle of the course. And she's got to the lead, Melody Bell. Avantage, Prix de Feu fighting on. Oh, but here comes a dozen. Here comes the Queen of the Bay. Here comes the Queen of New Zealand racing. Melody Bell, way too good. Too easy, Melody Bell. Sat back, waited, got to the outside, and then unwound that powerful burst that we know she's got. And really second-rated them here, straight past them with ease for Troy Harris. And ladies and gentlemen, it does not get much better than this girl today. Melody Bell has done it, and done it brilliantly.
Yeah, it's very special to me. I do a lot of work with her at the stables, along with everyone at the middle barn, Sam Burgesson, Nicole Shaler. Everyone does a great job there, so it's really good for me. A big thrill.
Will you use these colours as pyjamas now? You won't want to take them off, will you?
Yeah, I know. We'll have to talk to John about that, but no, I've had a lot of success with John, so it's good.
Racing, and it was a gorgeous start too. Embers away well. She doesn't want to lead though. Unition came out fast. There's not a whole heap of pressure. Marine the inside and coming out as well as Lord Ardmore. Deeper on those, Need I Say More, 3 deep. Back about 6th is Bourbonaire around Rocket Spade. Then Zoltan. Back third last, the inside is Agon from Watchmaker, and a length away last is Mr. Reliable. Out to the 1100 metres. Need I Say More takes over and immediately steadies the tempo. Unition second, sliding up 3 wide now, Lord Ardmore. Getting close to heels a little while ago was Embers, and 5th the outside is Marine. Zoltan 3 wide around Bourbonaire the middle from Rocket Spade. In clear rear now, third last Agon. He's 9 off the leader around the outside of Watchmaker, and Mr. Reliable is last of all. They have 750 left to go in the Albasti Equiworld. 48th, 2,000 guineas. Need I Say More? He's had a great run in the lead. Leads by a length on Lord Ardmore. Later skipped away by 2 or 3. Marine is trying to get into the clear. Unition wider out from Zoltan. Then came Embers and Rocket Spade. Need I Say More? Leads a length and a half. Out the back, just clipping heels there was Mr. Reliable, the leader. Need I Say More? Going to him, Lord Ardmore. Wider out, Marine's running on. Agon about to get into the clear. It's Need I Say More? Lord Ardmore, Marine. Here's Agon. Bourbonaire wider out's running on. Need I Say More? Agon and Bourbonaire from the back. Marine through the middle. Agon took the lead in the guineas. Bourbonaire after him, the outside. Agon, Bourbonaire stride for stride. I think Agon might have got it. Agon over Bourbonaire. Marine third. 4th in Lord Ardmore. Then Rocket Spade. Need I Say More and Watchmaker. Next in Mr. Reliable, Embers, Zoltan and Unition. Number 2, Agon. All the way from King's Landing to Riccarton Park. the son of Sacred Falls, remains unbeaten. He's now a Group 1 winner. Lee Finnis, Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman winning the Albasti Equiworld 48th, 2,000 guineas.
How much of a thrill is that for you?
Oh, massive. I didn't know whether he'd won or not, so it's just starting to sink in now. Just great. They were going so slow, I was worried, and he was in a pretty tricky spot, but Leith had a lot of confidence in him.
Have you been involved with the Group 1 winner from this standpoint before?
No. It's pretty special. It hasn't really hit home yet, but no, it's a great thrill and just rapture racing with a great bunch of people.
Racing. And the last of them out was Da Vinci Girl. Embers with early speed. Tinker McPhee away well. Cornflower Blue on the inside and Delatier pressing forward wider out from Waimoku Falls. In the first half a dozen is Vitesse Beau. Then came Bonham around Fashion Shoot and through on the inside Da Vinci Girl. 1 length Kelly Renee. Racing around the outside of Karma Lass. Well back Matchmaker Tokarangi and last of all on the inside Miss Tycoon Rose. It's Embers working them off the back. Vitesse Beau the outside joins in 3 wide as Waimoku Falls pouring it on. Behind the speed Cornflower Blue, 1 off 5th is Delatier. In the middle on its back is Tinker McPhee improving around it Bonham. Next to the inside, Da Vinci Girl. Matchmaker's on the move. Ahead of it in the middle then is Karma Lass from Fashion Shoot. Next on the inside, Miss Tycoon Rose from Kelly Renee and Tokarangi last. It's the Barneswood Farm, 48th New Zealand 1,000 guineas. Line of 3 up front. The Oak Stud runner Embers leads Vitesse Beau. 3 deep on those now is Waimoku Falls. Delatier into the clear Bonham. Underneath of those is Cornflower Blue. Sticking towards the inside then Tinker McPhee. Tokarangi weaving a path. They're followed next by Karma Lass and wider out Matchmaker in the straight in the guineas. The leader in the middle of the track now taking over Vitesse Beau. Tinker McPhee up the rail with Cornflower Blue. Wider out running on Karma Lass. Cornflower Blue, Tinker McPhee. Karma Lass is coming from Vitesse Beau and Bonham. Tinker McPhee grabbed by Karma Lass. Karma Lass went to the lead in the guineas. Cornflower Blue tries to kick, but it's another Group 1 for guess who? Opie Bosson. The winner is Karma Lass. Beat home Cornflower Blue or the fast finishing Miss Tycoon Rose. Next to go by was Tinker McPhee. Not far away from them was Tokarangi, Vitesse Beau and Bonham ran on. Then came Fashion Shoot, Kelly Renee. Next in Da Vinci Girl from Waimoku Falls. Then came Matchmaker. The followed in next by Embers and the last of them in Delatier. Opie Bosson, Jamie Richards. You will not find a more potent combination at Group 1 level in New Zealand. Karma Lass has done it.
Pretty bloody exciting, you know. Oh, we thought we had a chance, but a lot of really good fillies in that race. We're pretty pleased to be saluting the judge, trust me.
Yeah, you've been down here most of the week too, haven't you?
I've been watching people eating pies and croissants on the side of the road, and I've been at the races, and we've had a fantastic time. Gosh, they know how to put a good day on these Christchurch people.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Even better when you're winning the feature.
Oh, yeah, isn't it great?
Racing in the Captain Cook, Awesome Al slow, rest broke pretty well. Amy's Jewel goes back, Concert Hall goes back. Hypnos began quickly, but here on the outside, taking it on is Deerfield going forward. Shadows Cast, Flying Sardine goes forward. Time sticking pulled out of that back to 5th now. Mauna Kea next on the inside. Beefeater a length away, and then 3/4 Rock on Wood. Going through underneath of those, Awesome Al, and then Concert Hall second from last, your favourite. And Amy's Jewel's 2 lengths behind them is the field for the Ridges. Wellington Captain Cook Stakes. Gallop over to the 1,000 metres. And Deerfield in front for Sam O'Malley. Shadows Cast, he's second, and the head on the chest. Hypnos right behind it. They've buttoned it off here. Flying Sardine in a nice position. Mauna Kea next inside of Time's Ticking. Rock on Wood, 3 out on those, no cover. Awesome Al next to Beefeater. Concert Hall looking to go forward now after the 800. And Amy's Jewel's going to follow the favourite home as they work down the side. They've got 700 metres metres to go, and Deerfield in front tries to sneak away a length and a half. Shadows cast right there though, as to Hypnos, Flying Sardine. Then time's ticking. Mauna-Kea behind them. Rock on Wood, Concert Hall, Beefeater as they jam up. Amy's Jewel's going to come to the outside, and then Awesome Out. Deerfield down to the 400 in front. Hypnos on the outside, a length away, a length and a half. Maybe Deerfield kick, but Hypnos knuckling down. Here's Rock on Wood coming now, and Concert Hall right down the outside. Deerfield and Hypnos, little between them. Rock on Wood's got him now. Here he is shooting for his Group 1 glory. Rock on Wood, Concert Hall flying the last little bit, but he's home and deserving the Group 1. Rock on Wood, way too good. Second over Concert Hall, to no third. Close Hypnos, Deerfield behind those has been Beefeater, Amy's Jewel, Flying Sardine, Mauna-Kea, Time Sticking, Shadows Cast, and Awesome Al. He had clear running from the top of the straight. He got to them maybe 200 metres out. Concert Hall made a lot of ground. He's a brilliant horse. This has been in waiting for him, and it's come today.
He was awesome today.
Oh, wasn't he? Yeah, I didn't think I was worried about the track, but oh man, he was good. He was out, did it tough, he was out 3 wide. I was going, oh no. But yeah, that was awesome.
You get that tag of Group 1 winner in waiting, and to put it away today, there'll be a party at home.
Yeah, thanks, Sue.
And to have Ryan in the saddle, it's just a fairy tale result.
That's his first Group 1 too, that's really awesome.
The Cambridge Studs Seville Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Let's bring it on. Gates have opened. They're off in the Cambridge Studs Seville Classic, and Vernon Me makes a beeline towards the early lead. Going forward in a twinkling, Angino Severini, and right with them Tiptronic as Vernon Me crosses him here as they work up the rise, leaving the straight. Settling him behind those, Rock on Wood. Now he's a lot handier than usual, the favourite. In between runners Charles Road, and then followed out by Supera. Up on the outside is On the Rocks from Fiscal Fantasy, getting back 3 wide though, with Vadavar, and back with them also Concert Hall. Into the back they go, 1,500 metres out, and it's Vernon Me looking to steady them up out in front. Boston has in a twinkling to its outside second, a length away, Gino Severini. Tiptronic caught out 3 wide as Charles Road improves between runners. Back on the inside, Rock on Wood, he's back behind midfield, a half length away, On the Rocks, followed by Supera, then Vadavar, Fiscal Fantasy, and Concert Hall is last. There's only 8 lengths off them. It's only been a moderate tempo as they top the rise, nearing the 1,100 metres, 7 lengths over the field in the Cambridge Studs Seville Classic. A tactical affair, and it's Vernon Me, a half on in a twinkling. A length away next is Tiptronic, followed by Gino Severini, who's had a safe economical run in behind the leaders. Then Charles Road, Rock on Wood is bottled away over on the inside next of On the Rocks. Then came Supera, they're starting to pick it up now from Fiscal Fantasy. Vadavar and Concert Hall is last, and only 6 off the leader. Up towards a home turn, the race on in earnest, 500 metres to go, and it's Vernon Me tackled by In a Twinkling on the outside. Wider out Tiptronic, in behind them Gino Severini sweating on a run. Rock on Woods poking up along the inside, needs space now. Out wider On the Rocks, and then followed by Superior. Concert Hall down out deeper, down to the 200. In a Twinkling made the lead. Rock on Wood desperate for room in behind it. Here's Superior and Concert Hall and Tiptronic. It's In a Twinkling. Rock on Wood ran out of room. Now Superior and Concert Hall. Concert Hall ranged up, got the lead, and Concert Hall and Vincent Colgan win the Cambridge Studs Seville Classic. Superior second, In a Twinkling third. If you want to look up hard luck in the dictionary, you'll see a photo of Rock on Wood because it was desperately stiff. Right alongside of it as well was Tiptronic, then Vernon Me, Charles Road, followed in behind those next by Gino Severini, then came On the Rocks, and back with them also Vadavar and Fiscal Fantasy.
Robert, what does that mean?
Oh, that means a lot. Great to finally tick the Group 1 off the bucket list. We've had a bit of a long day running a few from wide draws, but now to get the result in the big one of the day is just brilliant.
We're ready, let's bring it on. They're off on the Sistema Railway. First away, Julius to lead out from Avantage, New York Jazz and Monaco showing speed out wide. They'd be followed next out by Packing Rockstar, then came It's Destiny's Child. Settling Little West in midfield, next was Spring Heat on the outside of Pretty to See. Back third last is Summer Passage. Levante got back second last, the favourite. And last of all here is Just a Canter. Down by the 700 metres they come. Spread out over 10 lengths, and it's Julius the leader. Leads a half length now from New York Jazz. 1.5 away, Avantage. Hard held as they ease the tempo mid-race. Up on the outside of it next then was Monaco, followed round by It's Destiny's Child, Packing Rockstar. Then Summer Passage. Back near the tail is Pretty to See, Spring Heat. Just a Canter, she's stone motherless, Levante. And 6 lengths off the leaders. Homeward bound, 300 to go. Julius in front. Coming after it, Avantage. Where's Levante? She's still last, but she's to the outside and looking to run on. At the 150, Avantage in front. Here comes Levante down the outside. Julius, Avantage, Levante, Julius kicking again. Avantage has done it again. Second over, Julius. Third was Levante. Fourth at the line, not sure. Photos between Spring Heat, Packing Rockstar, and with them It's Destiny's Child. Then Pretty to See. Then followed over by Just a Canter with it New York Jazz, and back near the tail of the field was Summer Passage pulling up quickly after the line, and back with it also was Monaco. Avantage, a Group 1 winning mare at her very best once again. Jamie Richards, Opie Boston, Tianko, Avantage Syndicate.
I think you ended the last season with 11 Group 1. You're kicking off the new year with one here. It's an important way to start, isn't it, for you?
Absolutely, and sort of building on what we were able to achieve last year. And as I've said before, and will say again, I can't do it on my own. Got a wonderful team of staff behind us. Nicole Shayler and Sam Burgess, and we're Savion Blanc and Avantage. They do a great job along with everybody else concerned, and to have David Ellis buying them and then Dave and Karen syndicating them. You know, it's a great recipe for success.
Thank you. Ready, racing now in the Group 1. Watchmaker back a little bit at the get-go. Tokarangi goes back. Moana goes back as well. And Basawa. Whimsical came away quickly, but Invisible Spirit goes through with it. Then we have Sway My Way. And Frontman's working forward as well. Wild Moose on its back. And then in the middle of them is Brando with a little more than a length to Watchmaker. Bottom the outside. Whimsical's with those as they settle down rather. Basawa's with those. And then we have Tokarangi. And Moana's gone back to be the last. It's not really hotly contested here. Speed's easy, and Invisible Spirit in front, but now on the outside, Wild Moose goes up to test it. Frontman is third, and then we have Sway My Way is fourth over on the inside of Whimsical, and working past that now is Bonham. Back in behind those runners is Watchmaker. On the outside is Brando as they work across the top. Tokarangi improves over on the inside, then of Basawa, and Moana on the inside of that as the field for the Devon Plastics Living Classic come towards the 600 metres, and Invisible Spirit is dictating the pace. Bonham whips up on the outside now. Wild Moose behind these runners then is going to be Frontman. Coming around them quickly is going to be, as they turn, is going to be Whimsical. Brando and Moana in a scrap. Tokarangi gets right to the outside. So here Invisible Spirit and Bonham, and they've got a bit of distance on them here. Brando's now knuckling down to go after them. Tokarangi's out wider. It's Bonham in front, and Bonham a length and a half. Brando starting to sprout wings the last little bit. He's coming quickly. Bottom's in front, and the way on is too good, and Bottom gets the Group 1. Second over has been Brando, and third Wild Moose Tokarangi with those. Then we had Watchmaker wide out on them when they've hit the line. Then has been Basawa, further away Moana. In behind those then was Invisible Spirit. Frontman was back, Sway My Way was back, and back with those has been Whimsical, Bonham with the Penna Vineyard Stable, and Lisa Allpress. A brilliant ride. This is a really, really intelligent ride.
Massive congratulations. You took this race by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, well, I sort of wasn't having a lot of luck 3 deep, and I could hear Jono and Holly in my head, so I just sort of thought, trust my horse, and the fitness that they had her at today was super. And you know, she's a pretty fast wee mare, and going through her sectionals before the race, I did actually the sectionals on every horse in that race, and her and Brando were very similar in their last 600, so I knew he had to be good to come back from where he was to get past us.
Set. Racing in the Telegraph now. Fairline as well. New York Jazz just goes back a little bit after the start with Burgundy Bell. Wecker Force came away near the inside quickly. Tavi Mac right there. And Deerfield goes forward. Wider out Mascarpone. Back in behind these runners then Spring Heat and Avantage. Around them a little wider out is Tobericious. Burgundy Bell with those. Enzo's Lad is back on the inside. And the last one is New York Jazz. Southern Wecker Force is the leader as they gallop on down the chute coming to the 700 metres. Deerfield second. Mascarpone third but wide. The next Avantage has his back. Tavi Mac just inside of her. Kaimar War inside of the two. Spring Heat tracks in. Enzo's Lad, Tobericious and New York Jazz. The field for the Telegraph. Sprint down to the 400 metres. Wecker Force, Deerfield. Over on the outside, Mascarpone. Tavi Mac in the middle. Avantage is starting to come home well, and Spring Heat's trying to trick through as well. Avantage goes to the lead now. Spring Heat, Tavi Mac fights hard over on the inside, and we've got Avantage putting them to the sword the last little bit from Spring Heat, Burgundy Bell Race, but Avantage outstanding winner and an outstanding mare from Spring Heat, Burgundy Bell Tavi Mac Mascarpone. Then we had New York Jazz, behind them Deerfield, Kaimar War, Enzo's Lad, Tobericious, and the last of them in, Wecker Force. Whoa, you don't expect it to be that easy, but it was. Avantage for Jamie Richards, Danielle Johnson, and she has been dominant in the finish here. An outstanding win again for Avantage here, Bevan. She was just brilliant and too good.
She has blown them off the racetrack. 1,200 metres, 2,000 metres, it doesn't seem to matter. When she gets a bit between her teeth, she is very, very tough. Danielle Johnson gets the right result for sure, and you'll be very happy about how that race unfolded for you.
Yeah, she's just a pleasure to ride, and just words can't describe how exciting it is to get on her and win Group 1s on her, because she's everyone talks about her, and I'm just a small part of the team, and I've been lucky enough to be associated with her, but everything seemed to work out well. 3 wide with a bit of cover, and I was glad Mascarpone went forward, and it didn't end up in too back position. Just so exciting.
You said this mare was special to you this morning, and she's only probably gone up in your estimation.
Absolutely. She's 12, 14, a mile, 2,000. She doesn't know what distance she wants. She just keeps winning over them all, and yeah, as I said, it's just such a pleasure to be part of this.
And racing. One stood there, Cinerama stood there and missed it 10 or 12 lengths or even more. And going back is the mitigator, as they said, Communique and Melody Bell from Shadows Cast. And then we've got Tobericious, the outsider. Rock on Wood's going to follow Melody Bell everywhere she goes. Deerfield is back today, as to then is Cinerama, who's recovered through on the inside to be second from last. And the mitigator is last of all. So the race has been turned on its head a little bit here, and Communique, a cheap lead, and shows out now from Shadows Cast. Tobericious 3 wide. Melody Bell, Bosson's off the fence, and then on the inside, Cinerama to Deerfield. Oh, Rock on Wood, something's wrong tragically there, and will be retired from the race. So has been pulled up here. The mitigator was back last of the remaining bunch here. Communique in front. Shadows Cast, the winner 2 years ago. Tobericious, then Cinerama, Melody Bell, and then Deerfield going forward in last year's winner, the mitigator, with Rock on Wood out of the race over by the 850 metres as the field for the Harcourts. Thorn didn't come to the home corner now, and the race is on here. Who's got the most game? Tobericious, Communique, Melody Bell's presented, Deerfield the outside, the mitigator, and Cinerama is still giving itself a shot at them right through on the inside. May have put the head in front, Melody Bell, and Deerfield over on the outside coming strongly. Melody Bell looking for 13. The class starting to show. Here it is. Celebrate the greatest Second over Deerfield, I think, Cinerama Tobalicious. Behind them, Shadows Cast Communique and the Mitigator. And so unfortunate with Rock Onward. But when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and she dug down. Opie asked her, and she responded magnificently here.
Yeah, there's just not enough words to describe her. She looked under a bit of pressure, but when it came to the champion time in the race, the champion stood up and extended under Opie Wasson, who picks up another Group 1 on this wonderful mare, who's now won 13 and equalled our greatest in Sunline.
Jamie, that's an incredible achievement, and she's done the job very, very well, just as we predicted.
Yeah, it didn't win by a big space or anything like that, but it's still relatively comfortable that she was going to get the job done, and she's still got a lot of improvement in terms of her fitness to come.
That's equal to Sunline. That's a remarkable feat in itself. Do you remember Sunline as a horse? Did you ever think you'd have one like that?
Yeah, I remember her, you know, racing in. I remember the race in Hong Kong more so than anything else, and a couple of those Cox plates. But we've equalled the record. But she's a wonderful mare. She was the mare of the world, whereas we've done the job mainly in New Zealand. But still very good to be able to get up there and equal that. And you know, really proud of her. She's done such a wonderful job for my career, and obviously brought by David Ellis and syndicated by John Galvin, and she's flown the flag for all of us.
This is it. Let's bring it on. Oh, she walked out of the gates, Levante. Missed it by 8 lengths. How much would you like to put on Avantage now? The early leader is going to be up in the front, Manrico. Going with it, Avantage from the wide gate, and then followed by Julius and Travelling Light. 2.5 to call me. Call sign Mav is next, followed on the inside by the next one is Mascarpone. Then came New York Jazz. Further back in the field here is Gino Severini. Back third last then was It's Destiny's Child from Kiwi Ida. Levante's closed that gap, but she blew the chips at the start. I reckon she is 10 lengths off the leaders. In the BCD group sprint, and the pacemaker is Manrico. Leads by 2. Avantage has it in its sights. 2 lengths away, Travelling Light Julius. Then came Mascarpone, call sign Mav. Further back in the field is Gino Severini from New York Jazz. Well back also is Kiwi Ida as they turn for home, followed then by It's Destiny's Child. Levante to the extreme outside. Homeward bound, 300 metres to go. Avantage in front here. Leads by 2. Call sign Mav looks to run on. Then followed further back by Mascarpone. Back in behind these then is Travelling Light, but it's in front here with 150 metres to go. She's clear Avantage. She's got them. She's in Group 1, 7th heaven. Avantage too good. Second over photos, Mascarpone and call sign Mav, and then Travelling Light. Oh, Levante, she's finished 5th, I reckon. It's still an enormous run. Then followed over by Manrico, New York Jazz. Further away would have been back in behind those Julius, and then Gino Severini, Kiwi Ida, and It's Destiny's Child. Avantage, it was all set up for her, and she's raced away for her 7th Group 1 win.
I know, talking to you earlier in the week, Opie, you wanted to be in a handy position, and it looked like it mapped out perfectly.
It did. Thought we were a little bit aggressive today, and had a plan. If Levante was 5 lengths behind us on the turn, it'd be hard to peg back.
And she's done just that, hasn't she? She's let down really nicely.
She is. She's just a gutsy racehorse, and no matter what you do with her, you can ride it back, forward, and just up in distance. It doesn't matter. She's just a gun.
And when you take Melody Bell out of the equation, she's now a 7-time Group 1 winner. She's making her own path, isn't she?
She is, and they're both similar type of horses, and there's more in store for this one. Melody Bell might retire soon, and we've got another one on the way up. So,
well done.
Thanks.
The Herbie Dyke Stakes, let's bring it on. She walked out of the gates Cinerama was slowly away. Melody Bell conversely began quickly enough, but Bowden's going to race to the lead in the early stages, right with a Deerfield now. So there's the first surprise. Camino Ricoso back at the tail of the field, would you believe, as they go out of the straight, and it's Deerfield who skies away by 4 lengths from Bowden. Moving forward, Melody Bell, she was caught 3 wide from her draw, but now works around and she's up in 3rd spot, and now 1 off the rail. Then came Royal Performer. Tiptronic just got a little bit keen there. On the rocks is next Cinerama, over racing midfield. Alongside of it, the Chosen One. And then came Charles Road, and back at the tail is Camino Ricoso. So as they swing into the back by the 1400 metres, and it's Deerfield, the pacemaker, leads by a length on Bowden. 2.5 away, Melody Bell, 3rd up on the outside of Royal Performer. Then came Tiptronic. On the rocks is next, 2 lengths away then to the Chosen One with Cinerama. Then came Charles Road, and still last of all is Camino Ricoso. Most anticipated it to be out in front, but it's back last, 900 metres out. In the Group 1 Herbie Dyke Stakes, and the pacemaker is still Deerfield. Leads by 3/4 of a length from on the outside, Bowden. 2 lengths away, Melody Bell. She's had a lovely run on the outside of Royal Performer. There goes Camino Ricoso off and around them, and then followed round by Tiptronic as they increase the tempo. The Chosen One came next from on the rocks. Further back is Cinerama, and last is Charles Road, 8 lengths off the leader. Now they sprint, they had to, 500 metres from home, and the Herbie Dyke Stakes and the pacemaker. Bowden, he got away by 3 lengths on the corner. Melody Bell's out into the clear, but being pushed back in by Tiptronic. And behind them, Deerfield, 250 to go. Bowden in front. Melody Bell, she's 3 lengths off them. And now Royal Performers coming through, but on the rocks, and now by the Chosen One. She can't win, Melody Bell. It's Royal Performer in front at the 100. Dashed away the Chosen One. Bowden, and on the rocks, Royal Performer for the Vance team, and Jonathan Liddell. Royal Performer won the Herbie Dyke Stakes. Second over was on the outside. We had the Chosen One. On the rocks was right there, as was Bowden, who made an interesting, and Cinerama. Further back in the field, Charles Road, and then came Tiptronic. Back near the tail, Camino Ricoso. Oh gee, I hope everything's okay with Melody Bell. That was way below her best, and back at the tail was Deerfield.
An impressive victory. Well done to Jenny and Bob Vance. We're going to be able to catch up with Bob very shortly, and in fact, Emily, let's get straight to you.
Well done. That is just remarkable. What was the emotions like after that?
Oh, what can I say? You know, I just can't believe it. I knew he's a good horse, you know. He's a good horse, and he had the perfect run in the race, and, you know, he's... to come back from Hong Kong, he was only gelded. He's an 8-year-old now. He was only gelded 16 months ago. And we've been very lucky. We've got such a good track to work on for the Hong Kong horses. And Jim Babari's put a lot of work in this horse, the chiropractor work for him. And Jenny does all the intricate details. I just ride him.
He was a horse in form though, wasn't he? Because he was coming into this off 2 wins.
Yeah, he was. And every time he won, and I said to John, I said, this horse has got to turn a foot. Yeah, he's really got to turn a foot. And he really had one today, you know. He's just such a lovely horse. You know, you don't get many horses in the stable that are just like him.
$1,600 shoot. Commander Park starting gates are open and they're off. And racing, Imelda Mary just dipped out of the gates out wide and beginning quickly here, Deerfield and Avantage, she's right there, call sign Mav Handy, House of Cartier over on the inside, about 4 lengths travelling light. The outside of her is Shadows Cast, and Imelda Mary's gone back to be the last one. So Sam O'Malley in a Group 1 riders taking Deerfield to the lead here now and shows out. They've just got to post it a bit Avantage, but she goes forward, boss, and he's not having any of that. He'll sit second and 1 off now. And then House of Cartier at the 1,000 metres is third defence. They're followed around by Call Sign Mav. There's 2 to Travelling Light, the outside Shadows Cast, and Imelda Mary is the last of them as they run off the back. It's the El Cheapo cars, Wait for Age Classic under Group 1 conditions, and here it is Deerfield who shows the way. Now Avantage, she's just a length off him. House of Cartier's had a nice run, as to Called Sign Mav, Travelling Light behind them, Shadows Cast, and Imelda Mary as they run down the side before the home corner. 500 metres still to go, and here Avantage going up to tackle Deerfield. Call Sign Mav behind them, House of Cartier, and Travelling Light looks to get to the outside. Avantage shot to the lead, 300 metres out. Call Sign Mav, travelling light on the outside, running on. 200 metres to go. Avantage a couple of lengths in front. Call Sign Mav tries hard. Over on the outside, travelling light. Avantage, he's making ground. Call Sign Mav, but she has done it. That's 8 Group 1s and a $2 million barrier broken. And back to back here. She's too good. Call Sign Mav second, third, travelling light. And then we had House of Cartier Shadows Cast. Imelda Mary and Deerfield. But you've got to be fair to Call Sign Mav. He was really, really tough hanging in there. But job done, and job very well done. Brilliant there.
Yeah, I don't know if the race went 100% to plan, but she's just got that extra ability.
The plan was to go forward a little bit and just ride her a little bit positive early, but I just got into a little bit of trouble when Deerfield came across. But once she come back off him, she relaxed beautifully and done everything right.
Yeah, she sort of showed that kick. To Call Sign Mav's credit, he came at you late in the race.
He did. I could see him at the corner of my eye, and once I give my girl a few backhanders and a few reminders, she put her head out and had a crack. So that shows how good a racehorse she actually is.
This is it. Let's bring it on. Gates open in the Vodafone New Zealand Derby. They're away and racing. First away, Milford near the inside. Front man began quickly. Right with him also Tokarangi, Perfect Scenario. Tribute King on the speed in the early stages. Out wide of Jason Beltry, looking for cover. Now Tannehill's going to stride forward as well. Just in behind these next was Perfect Scenario, being passed by Lord Ardmore. Out a bit deeper on the track here, Edge of Wonder. 2.5 away then to Grip. Settles well back with If He Shows. Montre Noir back in that rear group. Back second last here is Rocket Spade, the race favourite. And Illafar is last on the inner. They work up their eyes, leaving the straight in the Derby. And the pacemaker is Tannehill. Found the rail and leads by a half length. From up on the outside of it is Edge of Wonder. 1 length away, Tribute King is third on the inside. Now moving forward is Lord Ardmore as they tried to steady the tempo. McNabb not having any of that, and he takes Lord Ardmore to a 3-length advantage as they swing into the back. Jason Beltry is fourth, and then followed by Tribute King. 1.5 away, front man midfield. Followed round by Milford over on the inside next to If He Shows, then Perfect Scenario. Back in the field, Tokorangi from Montre Noir, then followed by Grip, Rocket Spade, and last of all is Illafar. They pack up here as they go inside the 1200, inside the midway race, part of the race here. Spread out over 10 lengths, and another new leader. If He Shows works round to take over for Sam Weatherly in the Derby. 1.5 away, Edge of Thunder from Lord Ardmore. 2 lengths away, Tannehill. Followed round then by, right there, Jason Beltry. 1.5 Tribute King, front man. Further back in the field next, Perfect Scenario. Milford got away from the rail. Back near the tail of the field here. Next was Grip for Montre Noir. Rocket Spade, the favourite's gone back last. Illafar's over on the inside, and Tokarangi is in that rear group, but there's only 7 lengths over the Derby field. Down to the 600 metres mark they come, and the leader, If He Shows. Here they come from the back. Front man moves around on the outside with Jason Beltry. Right there next as they come towards the corner. We've got out wide. Milford looks to run on as well as they swing for home. Many chances in the Derby. 350 to go. Milford ranged up the front man. Over on the inside of them, Rocket Spade is starting to bob and weave his way through the field. Further back then we've got If He Shows and Illafar. Then Montre Noir running on late, but down to the 200 metres. Rocket Spade, front man, Milford. These are the three I think that are going to fight out the Derby. Rocket Spade's just in front. Rocket Spade, Milford and front man. Rocket Spade won the Derby. Second over photos, Milford and front man, then Illafar. With it also If He Shows, Tokorangi running on, as was Montre Noir. In behind those then was Jason Beltry, Lord Ardmore, followed by Tribute King, Grip, Tannehill. And back at the tail were Edge of Wonder, and with it Perfect Scenario.
Lance, you've obviously won this race as a jockey. How does it feel to win it as a trainer today?
It's pretty special, you know. I think for Andrew and all the team, you know, Scotty's done a great job with this horse, and Pratab, who rides some work, Alan, you know, we've got a great team behind us, but, you know, the team Hermitage, who, you know, let, you know, Robbie, Paul, myself, and all of us buy him at the sales, Andy Williams, you know, it's a great result, but, you know, I've got to be honest, Paul found this horse at the sales, and he keeps taking credit for it, and good on him, he certainly did.
Absolutely.
It was unbelievable. So rapt to get a race like the Derby for Lance and Scotty, because throughout my career they've been probably one of my biggest supporters, so and put the trust in me, to ride the horse. So I'm absolutely stoked. So
yeah, we regard Lance as a benchmark of jockeys, don't we? And for you to be winning one for him when he hadn't been able to win one before in his trainer's role, it must be pretty satisfying.
It is, yeah. Like you say, Lance has been the benchmark of jockeys. He's right from when I was probably in my early 20s when I moved to Matamata, he started helping me, and I think I've got a lot to thank for him. So also of my riding, but also of the horses they've put me on for training. So it's been good to win a lot of good races for them, and also thank you to the owners, Hermitage. I've had a few good winners for them, so it's great to get this for them.
Let's bring it on. Gates open in the Sistema, and slow out was Victor, missed it by 2.5. Now first away, Sort of State, the stablemate on the bubbles. They're going to try and dominate from in front, the two Tianco representatives. They show the way from Bonnie Lass, who trails third over on the inside of Magneto. 2 back then to Bergheim. 7:20, Fonsolet out 3 wide, and last is Victor. Work inside the 800 metres in the Sistema Stakes, and the pacemaker is a Sort of State. Leads a half length, being cuddled up here by Bosson. Up on the outside, the stablemate on the bubbles. 1.5 to Bonnie Lass, third on the inside of Magneto. 2 back then to Bergheim, then 7:20 in the last pair, Victor and Fonsolet. On the corner, 500 metres to go, and the 2-year-old's about to turn for Group 1 glory here, and the pacemaker is Sort of State, given more rain, leads a half length. On the bubbles is going with it though. 2 lengths away next, Magneto, followed in behind these in by Bonnie Lass. Further back, 7:20 in Bergheim. Sort of State has shaken off on the bubbles. 3 lengths away then, and behind these next is Bonnie Lass, and then Magneto, but Sort of State and OP Bosson. KG Ride wins the Sistema Stakes and wins it brilliantly. Circuit over was on the bubbles third. At the line was Bonnie Lass, then Magneto, then followed by Bergheim. Further back in the field, Fonsolet, 7:20, and Victor will be the last of them home.
Jamie, a massive performance, because on the bubbles really served it up to him, and now he just continues to go from strength to strength with another great win.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a valuable colt now. Dave and Mark picked him out on the Gold Coast and paid a fair bit of money for him. It's got him syndicated amongst some great people, and really great to see him continue to improve. I think that's the best thing about him. Like, he was sort of bred to be out and going before Christmas, and we just wasn't sort of fitting together, and we gave him a little bit of a break, and he's come back in great shape, and he's really going through the gears really nicely now.
They stand well. This is it, let's bring it on. They're off and racing in the Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes. First away on the rocks towards the centre, going forward, Tiptronic from a wide draw. No one really keen to lead as they work up their eyes, leaving the straight. Right along the inside is Bowden. Avantage is going to settle down fourth, followed out by Concert Hall and Melody Bell. Now 3 wide, Paisley Park around that first bend, and last of all is Royal Performer from the wide gate. So as they work out into the back, 1,600 metres to go, and Tiptronic takes it up. Leads by a length and a half here from on the rocks, and they're not breaking any records. It's a tactical affair. Third and third position, Bowden, 1.5 away, Avantage fourth, followed round then by, up on the outside, Paisley Park, and then came Concert Hall. Melody Bell, she's back second last, right on the back of the stablemate, and last of all is Royal Performer. As they work inside the 1,200 metres, it's an equine chess game here, very tactical affair, and the pacemaker in the Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes is Tiptronic, leads by 1 length from in second spot on the rocks, then followed round next by Bowden over on the inside of moving forward Paisley Park as they top the rise by the 1,000. Back in behind them, Avantage, she is 4 lengths off the leaders. 2 lengths away then to Concert Hall, back on the inside of Melody Bell. She's tracking the stablemate throughout, and last is Royal Performer, being ridden with the patience of Joe by Jonathan Riddell. Down the side they come, and the Group 1 Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes, there is 7 lengths over the field. Expect the fireworks shortly, and the pacemaker back at Tiptronic from On the Rocks. Out deeper is on the outside Paisley Park, and then followed by Bowden. Avantage now looking to warm up. Melody Bell still continues to track her. Concert Hall near the inner is looking to come through. Now the big guns start to fire up, and also Royal Performer across the track of the 250. Now taking over, we've got Melody Bell out wide, swept up to them. Bowden over on the insides and for the fight. So is Avantage. It's Melody Bell, Avantage and Tiptronic. Melody Bell, ring the bell. Melody's back in town, and that is 14 Group 1's, the all-time greatest winning Group 1 winner in the history of New Zealand racing here. She's done it, Melody Bell. Photos for the miners. We've got either Avantage or Tiptronic, who kept giving with Concert Hall. Out wider on the track as they went across the line was Royal Performer, then Bowden, followed further back in the field, then by On the Rocks, and back at the tail Paisley Park. She's done it, Melody Bell. Forget about Te Rapa. This is the real deal. 14th Group 1 win. Marvellous, marvellous performance. Melody Bell.
Jamie, 2 Group 1s in the space of half an hour. That must be pretty exciting, but let's concentrate on Melody Bell because she's made her own history today, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has, and she's such a wonderful mare. All of this talk that she's not going good enough, or all of this crap, you know. She's a champion, and you know, champions bounce back, and that's exactly what she's done today. It wasn't her fault at Te Rapa, and I'm just really proud of the whole team. Nicole Shayla, who's leading her in there, Sam Burgesson at the middle barn looking after them. As I said, after sort of state, you know, we're under the bumper bit this morning to get everything worked and get them up here, so I can't thank them enough. The wonderful team of staff that Dave's worked really hard to assemble, a wonderful team of horses, and you know, John Galvin and his Fortuna syndications are a massive part of it as well. So fantastic win, thrilled for Troy. Yeah, just a good feel story, isn't it?
So we're set to go. Let's bring it on. Gates open. They're off in the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup. And first away was Loch Winnock. Star Czar began quickly. Just a Boy Bullseye is right there as well with Robusto. So they're 4 deep in the early stages. 2.5 away next in a twinkling. Followed by Swords Drawn and Charles Road out a bit deeper. Just a Maze will settle back midfield from on the inside Lincoln King. Ocean Billy's well back in the early stages. With them also was on the outside Roger That works forward. Back and behind those next now as they come down the side is Vito Rosso. Back towards the tail Platinum Invader with the race favourite Sound back third last from Bluey's Chance, and Daytona Red is last of all. So as they work down by the 600 metres on their first occasion here, and the big boy Star Czar's work to the lead here from Just a Boy Bullseye. In a twinkling's caught out 3 wide, so Boston may elect to roll forward here, and behind them Robusto, Loch Winnock, and then followed round next by Roger That. Dance Card is in that group as well as they come into the straight, followed over on the inside by Swords Drawn, who's back midfield. Out deeper on the track, Bluey's Chance, the Southerners off and around them, followed then by Charles Road. Then further back in the field is Just a Maze with it Lincoln King, Daytona Red. Well back here, Ocean Billy back 4th last from Vito Rosso, and the last pair are Platinum Invader and the race favourite Sound. At the judge, 1 lap from home, and they're 3 deep as they climb the rise. Stars are being taken on by In a Twinkling. Out 3 wide here, Bluey's Chance. Then 2 lengths away next, Just a Boy Bullseye is 4th on the inside, followed by Roger That. Then came Loch Winnock in a nice spot over on the inside of Robusto. Back midfield, Swords Drawn, Dance Card is with it as well. And now 3 wide here, Charles Road as they swing into the back. Further back in the field then to Lincoln King with Just a Maze, Daytona Red. Ocean Billy off and around them out deeper. Vito Rosso's back third last here from Sound. Patiently ridden the favourite, and last of all Platinum Invader. They put the start point behind them and they head towards the 1200 metres in the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup, spread out over a dozen lengths, and In a Twinkling's work to get to the lead, but shows the way by 1 length from Bluey's Chance. Last year's winner Roger That on the improve out 3 wide. Right in behind them Just a Boy Bullseye, then Stars are 5th, followed then by Charles Road, then Loch Winnock and Robusto. Further back Ocean Billy, Dance Card, Swords Drawn got shuffled back on the inside of Daytona Red. Sound is off and around them now for for Troy Harris. Then came Lincoln King, Vito Rosso. Further back, Just Amaze and Platinum Invader is last. They jam up, 700 metres to go in the Cup, and there is 9 lengths over the field. And working forward, Roger That, last year's winner from In a Twinkling, and Ocean Billy's now turning on the afterburners to go up and join them. G-Sound has got very prominent very quickly. Further back then to Charles Road as they turn and head for home. Then Vito Rosso, homeward bound, 350 to go, and Ocean Billy the leader. Got away by 2 lengths. Sound looks to hunt him down. Then Roger That, further back Charles Road, Vito Rosso, Platinum Invader. It's Ocean Billy at the 200. Can he hold on? He's 3 lengths clear from Sound, Platinum Invader, and battling on Charles Road. Ocean Billy. Ocean Billy's in charge in the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup, and it goes to Rotorua and Bill Pomani. Ocean Billy won it. Photos for a second between Charles Road and Ride With It Sound, and out wide Platinum Invader. In behind them Vito Rosso, Swords Drawn and Daytona Red. Then followed over by Roger That, Lincoln King, Just Amaze, Robusto, Lock Winop, Dance Card, In a Twinkling. A gap back then to Just a Boy, Bullseye, Bluey's Chance and Stars Are. Obviously something not quite right with him will come back at the tail of the field. What a proud moment for Billy Pomare.
My soul, but I won't stop running, just won't let up.
Oh, I said to Johnson, he's got plenty there. You want to go past him? Go past them when you got enough time, because they won't pass them in the straight. Those are my exact words to him.
Absolutely. We saw the Celebrations Pro race. What does this mean to you?
Well, my family's here, you know, and old Pete down in Rotorua, he's 90 odd. I just hope his heart handles this, mate. But, you know, for a young Mary boy to come out of nowhere, mate, with nothing, sleeping under bridges and sleeping in cars, to suddenly have an Auckland Cup winner is, to me, incredible.
On the Champagne turf, we are ready. Gates are back and we're off in the Oak. She wasn't brilliantly away, Amarilia. She's gone back. Charm Star, Carolina Reaper also go back. Beginning quickly here is going to be on the inside. Can You Handle It, Jandal, Dragon Queen, and right there Needle and Thread as they come down to us, a circuit to make, and it's pretty keen early. And then Lana Cord inside of the next one is Beautiful Nightmare. Speed really good. 2 then to Z Falls, and over on the inside of that then is Cheaper Than Divorce as they run out of the home straight here. Back behind them now we've got 3 wide, Amaralinia looking to try and get in somewhere. I think you can drop in there, Boston. Charm Star the inside, and Spine Tingle back behind them. Killuanui and Slave to Love. A couple of 3 lengths, Love It or Leave It, Carolina Reaper, and the last is Ilafare. To the back of the track, 1,600 metres to go in the Oaks, and now getting to the lead is Needle and Thread. Shows the way. Second, Dragon Queen, and third, over on the inside, Can You Handle It, Jandal, and then on the outside, Beautiful Nightmare. Lana Cord is 5th on the fence, and then Z Falls, followed through then by Cheaper Than Divorce. Following that is Charm Star. Amarilinia is the next on the outside. She's midfield now, and 1 off. A length and a half then to Spine Tingle. Killuanui it's inside. Slave to Love is the next from Carolina Reaper as they work on down the back of the track and approach the 1,000 metres, and then Love It or Leave It, and Ilafare is the last by 2, and 20 lengths off the leader as they leave the back of the track. It is Needle and Thread showing the way for Craig Grills. Dragon Queen now goes up for a look. Can You Handle It, Jandal is third, and then we've got Beautiful Dream back on the inside. Lana Cord needs some space. Here they come. Z Falls on the move as 2 Cheaper Than Divorce, and Amarilinia is starting to get a track up into the race. Back behind these then Charm Star ridden for luck, although he comes out now, followed around then by the next one is Spine Tingle. Slave to Love, Ilafare back behind these, Killuanui, Carolina Reaper, and Love It or Leave It into the straight on the Oaks, and here presented Amarilinia. She's ranged up to them and hit the lead now from Charm Star, comes after it quickly over on the outside. Back in behind these, Lana Cord runs on as 2 Spine Tingle. Amarilinia in front. Charm Star's going to have a crack, but she's kicking Amarilinia. She's too good in the Oaks, and Amarilinia brilliant. Charm Star, Lana Cord second and third. Cheaper than Divorce Spine Tingle behind these D4s. Dragon Queen Elefante, and then the next Slave to Love. They were followed by a Beautiful Nightmare, the outside, Love It or Leave It. Carolina Reaper behind them when they've hit it has been Kaluanui. Back here also was the next one, Can You Handle a Dandle with Needle and Thread. Oh, she is extra.
Talk me through the race, because I don't think it was picture perfect from the hop.
No, we jumped straight up in the air at the start and I was like, oh no. And the plans was right handy and it's back about 5 spots further back than I wanted to be, but to your credit, she relaxed beautifully and I just got to learn to control her turn of foot. I just get there too soon on it, so.
Yeah, because she cornered and then you were there and they had their shot at you, but a good filly finds and she did.
She did fine. She heard the other one coming and then she just gave me just a little bit more and it shows good horse quality.
Opie Possum, were you hoping the border opens up pretty quickly, I imagine, with what's heading to Australia?
Yeah, might have to make the trip over and stay until I can get back, but no, she's an exciting horse and can't wait for her to go over there.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Two sires are ready, racing. Scraggly by 3 of them. Hillaby, Rain It In, and Soldier Boy was slow to get underway. Beginning quickly on the bubbles. I Wish I Win is right there. As two now going forward over on the outside is going to be Martina Diva and Bonnie Lass in that group. Magneto over on the inside, quick and aways with those, and Rain It In is going right through underneath of them as they're off the rail there. Wolfgang is the next one. Then Lady Morale, Cool Change, a length and a half behind that. Fonzalet out wider to Soldier Boy, Hillaby, and Nest Egg is the last one. The Manawa Two Sires run off the back of the track, 700 metres to go, and here it is on the bubbles, the leader. Magneto inside of I Wish I Win. Bonnie Lash, she's ready to go. Martina Diva behind them. Over on the inside is Rain It In, and now Quick and Away starting to take off and around them. Wolfgang in that group of horses as well as they near towards the corner, and Lady Morale starting to pick up ground. He travels beautifully on the bubbles, comes wide as they swing. He has a length and a half in front from I Wish I Win, and then Magneto, Soldier Boy closer to the inside from Rain It In, and then we've got Bonnie Lass looking to run on, but on the bubbles by 3 lengths from the stablemate. I Wish I Win tries hard, and then Bonnie Lass on the bubbles. Have a look at him go. Have a look at a horse that really wants it, and he's a Group 1 winner. On the bubbles wins. I Wish I'd Win is second. Third has been Bonnie Lass, and then Fonzaret behind them when they've hit it was going to be Lady Morale, Soldier Boy, and behind those runners then was Fonzaret and Nest Egg. In front of that was Magneto with those Wolfgang. Rain It In, Quick and Away was further away. Cool Change with Martina Diva and Hillaby.
Won really well, and you know, he's gone well all season, hasn't he? He's had 6 starts, 4 wins in a couple of seconds now, so terrific horse, and it's a pleasure to ride him, and thanks for the support from the whole team involved.
He doesn't know what a decent draw is, but he can still put himself in the right position.
Yeah, he's a shocker for his bad barrier draws, but it hasn't seemed to work out, hasn't seemed to worry him, and he does begin pretty good out of the gates, and he's a real professional. He sort of makes it easy to ride him.
Tina goes up with Levante. This is it. Let's bring it on. They're off and racing, and she jumped well, Levante, from the wide draw. Avantage is right there, and Familia's going to go through and take the lead. Now Tabata works through on the inside to be second, followed out next by Travelling Light. And then Avantage, who's keen to stay in the middle of those two. 2.5 away then to Syracuse. Levante, after beginning well, is drifted back to second last, just in front of her Baton Bouge. And last of all is Coventina Bay. 1,100 metres left to run, and the pacemaker is Familia. In the unfamiliar role of leader, leads by 3/4 of a length. Avantage was keen to get up on its outside in second spot. Tabata third on the inside of Travelling Light. They eased the tempo at the 900 metres. 1.5 away next then came Baton Bouge. On the inside is Syracuse, and the last pair, Coventina Bay and Levante. There is 8 lengths over the field. Down the side they come, 700 metres from home in the Fibre Fresh New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeder Stakes. Familia the leader. Avontage is poised to pounce on the outside. 2 lengths away next to Barters at a nice run on the inside of Travelling Light. Then came Syracuse, followed by Baton Bouge, Coventina Bay and Levante about to make their move. Danielle Johnson's done the same on Avontage as they turn in, and she's got 4 lengths on the other 2 mares. It's Avontage a length from Travelling Light. In behind them, Coventina Bay. Out wider than Syracuse, then Levante. 5 lengths off Avontage. At the 150, Travelling Light's giving a sight, so is Coventina Bay. Avontage, she's all out, but she's hanging in. Travelling Light, and on the inside, Coventina Bay. She's got her 9th Group 1, and she's done it. Avontage from Photos and second spot, Coventina Bay, Travelling Light, Levante, Syracuse. And behind those next then we had Tabata from Baton Bouge, and Familiar will be the last of them home.
Gutsy, determined. She's just a hard horse to get past when she's in front.
Yeah, she is, and every time she heard the horses come around her, she just fought that little bit more, and you know, she probably didn't win by that many lengths, but she still had a lot up her sleeve then, and she's just a horse of a lifetime for me, really.
Just talk to me how it all unfolded. I mean, I know this is one of your special horses. You know, this is one horse that you have a lot of time for, and it's special to you.
Yeah, she is. I was lucky enough to get on her as a 2-year-old and sort of developed a relationship with her since then on, and when Opie's been out of the country or hasn't been riding, I've been able to get on her, so it's been, you know, a lot of luck for me.
And she travelled kindly, sitting outside Familiar, and she was happy in that position. Then you just decided to come a little bit away from the rail when turning for home.
Yeah, I had a look over the field and I thought Leith would lead. Wasn't sure what Jonathan Riddell was going to do, but lucky enough he took the sitting behind me and we were able to dictate the speed. I just had to sit and wait.
Great through, well done.
Thanks.